ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Okay, continuation to the last class. Next phase in the generation and propagation of the nerve impulse, that is the depolarization. That is the depolarization phase. That is the depolarization phase. That is the second phase in the case of the generation and propagation of the nerve impulse. This is also called as raising phase. This is also called as the raising phase. Again, whenever the depolarization is occurs means, just assume this is the axon, this is the axolemma, again this is the axoplasm, again to the outside of the axolemma during the resting, what is the charge which is established means positive charge. That is the positive charge because of due to the presence of the more number of the sodium and potassium than the Cl minus, means in the exoplasm, in the axoplasm, definitely non-diffusible proteins, phosphate ions, sulfate ions are present more than sodium and potassium. So that only inside of the axolemma in axoplasm negative charge is established. Negative charge is established to the outside of the axolemma because of due to the presence of the more number of the cations than anion, positive charges gets established. So this condition is said to be as the polarized condition. This is said to be as the polarized condition. So whenever the stimulus is applied over axolemma, then immediately at the point where we apply the stimulus, in this particular site, sodium activation gate gets open. Definitely in the resting stage, what is the position of the sodium voltage gated channel means? Activation gate of the sodium is open, sodium is closed. Activation gate of the sodium is closed, inactivation gate of the sodium is open. Again potassium gate is in close. So when we apply the stimulus on this particular site, at the site where we apply the stimulus, that stimulus induces to open the activation gate of the sodium. Definitely when we apply the stimulus in this particular point, that stimulus activate this activation gate of the sodium to gets open. As a result of this, Na which is present in the ECF, Na which is present in the ECF starts movement into the axoplasm. If we can apply the stimulus on particular point of axon, at the site of the stimulus, this activation gate of the sodium gets open. By that way, inward movement of the sodium is started into the axoplasm. As a result of this, resting membrane potential is at first changes to minus 55 MV. Due to the inward movement of the sodium initially, due to the inward movement of the sodium from ECF into axoplasm initially, resting membrane potential is changes from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV. This minus 55 millivolts, minus 55 millivolts of potential is said to be as the threshold potential. That is said to be as the threshold potential. This is the threshold potential. Once if this membrane potential is reaches to threshold level, then remaining sodium voltage gated channels which are present here, then remaining sodium voltage gated channels which are present in this particular site, they are gets open. Definitely, once if this resting membrane potential is changes from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV, then this minus 55 MV millivolts of membrane potential induces remaining sodium voltage gated channels which are present in this particular site to get to open their activation gates. By that way, rapid inward movement of sodium is taken place into the axoplasm from ECF. Means what I am saying here, that initially only one sodium voltage gated channel which is present here at the site of the stimulus is activated. By that way, in response to applying stimulus, activation gate of this sodium voltage gated channel is gets open. By that way, inward movement of the sodium is taken place very slowly. By that way, resting membrane potential is changes from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV initially. This minus 55 MV resting membrane potential is said to be as the threshold potential. Once if this potential is reaches to threshold level, this threshold potential induces remaining sodium voltage gated channels which are present here to get to open their activation gates. By that way, rapidly sodium which is present in the ECF starts to move into the axoplasm. Finally, due to that, inside of axoplasm, due to the rapid inward movement of sodium, cation's number is becomes greater than anion. Due to the rapid inward movement of the sodium into the axoplasm, this sodium number is gradually increases. Finally, cation's number is becomes greater than anion. By that way, inside of axoplasm, positive charge is established. To the outside of the axolemma, negative charge is established soon after, because Whenever continuously Na plus ions are moves into exoplasm, after some time this cation's number becomes greater than anion inside of the exoplasm. By that way, inside to the axolemma, positive charge is established, and to the outside of the axolemma, negative charge is established. Because whenever continuously sodium plus ions are moves into the exoplasm, to the outside of the axolemma in ECF, this anion's number becomes greater than cation. Due to the continuous inward movement of the sodium, after some time, this cation's number becomes less than anion. By that way, to the outside of the axolemma, negative charge is established, inside positive charge gets established soon after. This condition is said to be as the depolarization. This condition is said to be as the depolarization. It is completely opposite to the polarized condition. Polarized condition means if to the outside of axolemma positive charge, inside of axolemma negative charge is present, that is said to be as the polarized condition. Instead of that, due to the continuous inward movement of the sodium into the exoplasm, if this electrical charges are becomes a reversal, then that is said to be as the depolarization. That is called as the depolarization. Definitely whenever to the outside of the axolemma negative charge, inside of axolemma positive charges gets established. In this particular condition, this threshold potential is also raises to plus 45 millivolts. Due to the increased positivity, due to the increased positive charge to the inside of the axolemma, resting membrane potential is finally raises to plus 45 millivolts. This plus 45 millivolts of potential is said to be as the action potential, or this is also called as spike potential. This is said to be as the action potential or the spike potential. Plus 45 millivolts of this potential is said to be as the action potential or spike potential. This is nothing but nerve information. This is nothing but nerve information. Just assume, in this case, this is the site A or segment A. Means in the case of the axon, this is the one internode. What is the meaning of the internode? Just assume this is the one part of axon which is with the myelin sheath. This is the unmyelinated part. Again, this is the myelinated part. This is said to be as the node of Ranvier. This is said to be as the node of Ranvier. This is the node of Ranvier. This is the internode. This is the another internode. Definitely this is the another internode. So definitely this internode is nothing but site A. Again another internode, nothing but this is the site B. This is the site B. Definitely if we can apply the stimulus on the particular site of axon of site A, if we can apply the stimulus on the particular point of the site A axon, then this depolarization is occurs in the site A only. Definitely if we can apply the stimulus here, this stimulus induce the depolarization in this particular internode only. In this particular internode, at first depolarization is finally occurs, that leads to the generation of plus 45 millivolts of action potential or spike potential. But to the neighboring of this site A, whatever the site B which is present, that is with the positive charge to the outside of the axolemma, inside that is with the negative charge. Means definitely in the site B, polarized condition is appears. The site B, that is nothing but another internode which is present, that is with the normal polarized condition. Means if we can apply the stimulus on the site A, only here resting membrane potential which is present, that is changes to minus 55 MV at first. Later, once a resting membrane potential is changes to minus 55 MV, that is said to be as the threshold potential. This threshold potential induces other sodium voltage gated channels which are present in the site A. By that way, they allows opening of the activation gate. Opening of their activation gates, as a result of this, rapid inward movement of the sodium is taken place. By that way, finally, this minus 55 MV potential is raises to plus 45 millivolts of potential, that is said to be as the action potential or the spike potential. So definitely this action potential or spike potential generation always follows all or none principle. Definitely this action potential generation or the spike potential generation always follows all or none principle. What is the all or none principle means? If we can apply threshold stimulus or supra threshold stimulus, or supra threshold stimulus, then only this resting membrane potential at first changes from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV, then only this minus 55 MV resting membrane potential induces remaining sodium voltage gated channels which are present here to gets open their activation gates, then only that leads to the rapid inward movement of the sodium, then only that allows the generation of the plus 45 millivolts of action potential finally. Means all or none. Means if we can apply the intensity of the stimulus which is with the threshold level, threshold stimulus nothing but the intensity of the stimulus which is able to change us resting membrane potential from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV, then that is said to be as the threshold stimulus or supra threshold stimulus. Definitely to open the remaining sodium voltage gated channels, to activate remaining sodium voltage gated channels to get open their activation gates, this resting membrane potential have to be reaches to the minus 55 MV compulsorily. Otherwise, instead of minus 70 to minus 55, if it is reaches to minus 70 to minus 65 only instead of minus 55, remaining sodium voltage gated channels which are present here may not be gets activated, may not be gets allowed to open their activation gates. By that way, inward movement of the sodium is not taken place rapidly. By that way, plus 45 millivolts of action potential may not be generated. Means definitely this intensity of the stimulus which is applied on axon, that must be able to change resting membrane potential at first from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV. Then only it is possible to get finally generate the action potential, finally generate the spike potential. Otherwise, if this stimulus is not able to change resting membrane potential from minus 70 to minus 55, instead of that, if it changes only from minus 70 to minus 65 instead of minus 55, this minus 65 MV is not able to induce the remaining sodium voltage gated channels to get to open their activation gate. By that way, inward movement of the sodium is not taken place. By that way, action potential or the spike potential generation may not be taken place. In that way, if the intensity of the stimulus is threshold level or supra threshold level, then action potential generation is taken place. Otherwise, if the stimulus level is subthreshold level, definitely that is not able to induce. Other means subthreshold means stimulus, if it is not able to change resting membrane potential from minus 70 to minus 55, then that is said to be as the subthreshold. This subthreshold level of the stimulus is not able to induce the other sodium voltage gated channels. By that way, rapid inward movement of the sodium is not taken place. By that way, action potential generation may not be taken place finally. This is said to be as the all or none principle. Again, in the depolarization condition, what is the activation gate and inactivation gate of the sodium means? During the depolarization, both gates of the sodium are open, potassium gate is remain closed. Both gates of the sodium are open during the depolarization, potassium gate is in close. Again, definitely during the depolarization, the neighboring site, that is the site B, this is said to be as the site B. This is the site B, that is nothing but another internode. This is the site C, that is the another internode. Definitely in the case of the site A, though it is the depolarized condition, but in the site B, that is with the polarized condition. Means to the outside of the axial lemma there is the positive charge, to the inside of the axial lemma there is the negative charge. That is said to be as the polarized condition. So whatever the action potential, that is the plus 45 millivolts of action potential which is generated in site A, that is acts as the threshold stimulus on site B later. After getting the generation of the plus 45 millivolts of action potential in site A, this plus 45 millivolts of action potential is acts as threshold stimulus on site B. As a result of here, at first plus minus 70 millivolts of resting membrane potential changes to minus 55 millivolts of potential. At first this plus 45 millivolts of action potential which is generated in the site A is acts as threshold stimulus on this site B, as a result of this, resting membrane potential at first changes from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV. Later, this threshold potential induces this sodium voltage gated channels which are present in the site B to get to open their activation gates. By that way, here also finally inward movement of the sodium is taken place rapidly. Inward movement of the sodium is taken place rapidly. By that way, after some time, to the outside of the axolemma, negative charge is established. To the inside of the axolemma, positive charge is established. Means finally here also depolarization is occurs that leads to the plus 45 millivolts of action potential generation. Here, whenever the plus 45 millivolts of action potential of site A is acts as the threshold stimulus on the site B, whenever here depolarization is started in the site A, repolarization is started, that is the third phase. Whenever this plus 45 millivolts of action potential is conducted to site B to acts as threshold stimulus, then in site A, repolarization is started. That is said to be as the repolarization. Repolarization is also called as the falling phase. This is also called as the falling phase. Before going to that, what is the depolarization? Why we call it as the rising phase? In the depolarization, minus 70 millivolts of membrane potential is raises to plus 45 millivolts finally. Means membrane potential is gradually increases from minus 70 MV to plus 45 MV. So that only this is said to be as the rising phase. Then what is the repolarization? Repolarization, whenever it is begins means whenever the plus 45 millivolts of action potential is conducted to the site B to act as threshold stimulus on site B, this in site A repolarization is begin. Then how this kind of the plus 45 millivolts is conducted to the site B? In the form of the electricity. In the form of the electricity, this plus 45 millivolts of action potential is conducted to the site B to act as threshold stimulus on the site B. Whenever this plus 45 millivolts of action potential is reaches to site B, then from the site B to the outside of axolemma, electricity is conducted from the site B to site A to begin repolarization in site A. Definitely this plus 45 millivolts of action potential, whenever it is conducted to the site B inside of axolemma, then immediately electricity from the site A is conducted to the site B to the outside of site B to site A to the outside of axolemma to begin the repolarization in the site A. Means what I am saying here that always electrical current is conducted from site A to site B through the axoplasm inside of axolemma. Always electricity is conducted from site B to site A to the outside of the axolemma in ECF. ఇక్కడ మనకు route of the conduction of the electricity is very important in NEET examination. Inside of the axolemma, always electricity is conducted from the site A to site B to the outside of the axolemma in ECF. Electricity is always conducted from the site B to site A. In that way, this plus 45 millivolts of action potential, whenever it is conducted to the site B to acts as threshold stimulus threshold stimulus, definitely this plus 45 millivolts of action potential immediately induces depolarization in this site B. At the same time, during that, from the site B, beginning of the repolarization means re-establishment of polarized condition in the site A. Re-establishment of the polarized condition in the site A. Re-establishment of the polarized condition means again to the outside of the axial lemma, cation's number have to be increases than anion. Inside of exoplasm, this cation's number have to becomes less than anion. Then how that kind of the cation's number is increases in ECF, how that kind of the cation's number is decreases in exoplasm to occur the repolarization means definitely during the repolarization, inactivation gate of sodium is immediately closed and potassium gate is gets open. During the beginning of repolarization, this inactivation gate of the sodium is gets closed to prevent further influx movement of the sodium into the exoplasm. To at first stop inward movement of the sodium from exoplasm from ECF into exoplasm, inactivation gate of the sodium is gets closed. By that way, further inward movement of the sodium into the exoplasm from ECF is gets prevented. Second, to allow the outward movement of the potassium from the exoplasm into ECF, this potassium voltage gated channel is gets open. During the repolarization, at first inactivation gate of the sodium is closed to stop further inward movement of the sodium from ECF into exoplasm, and potassium gate is gets open to allow the outward movement of the potassium from the exoplasm into ECF to increase the cation's number in ECF than anion. So after some time, due to the continuous outward movement of the potassium from the exoplasm into ECF, after some time this potassium and sodium number is becomes greater than anion. Due to the continuous outward movement of the potassium from exoplasm into ECF, after some time this cation's number is becomes greater than anion. By that way, to the outside of the exolemma, positive charge is established. Inside, due to the continuous outward movement of the potassium from exoplasm into ECF, finally cation's number is becomes less than anion. Cation's number is becomes less than anion. By that way, inside again negative charges gets established. Means definitely repolarization is mainly due to the efflux movement of potassium. Efflux movement means outward movement. Efflux movement means outward movement. Influx movement means inward movement. Due to the outward movement of the potassium, finally repolarization is occurs here. Repolarization is occurs here. Repolarization means re-establishment of the polarized condition, that is nothing but positive charge to the outside of the exolemma, negative charge to the inner side of exolemma is said to be as the repolarization. Repolarization is mainly due to the outward movement of the potassium. Depolarization is mainly due to the inward movement of sodium. Very, very important. Definitely, what is the reason for depolarization? What is the reason for depolarization means influx movement. Influx movement of sodium. What is the reason for the repolarization? Means efflux movement of potassium. Efflux movement of potassium. Definitely, due to the continuous outward movement of the potassium only, repolarization is finally established in the case of the site A. Again, in the site B, due to the change of the resting membrane potential from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV, definitely action potential which is generated in the site A acts as the threshold stimulus on the site B. By that way, resting membrane potential which is present here is changes from minus 70 MV to minus 55 MV. Finally, this minus 55 MV threshold potential induces sodium voltage gated channels which are present in the site B to gets open, their activation gate. By that way, rapid inward movement of the sodium is taken place. Finally, that leads to generation of plus 45 millivolts of action potential here also. This is the first action potential which is generated against to threshold stimulus. This is the second action potential which is generated against to first action potential stimulus. Later, in the site B again here positive charge. In the site C again here positive charge, here negative charge is present. This action potential which is generated here, this is again acts as the threshold stimulus on this site C. By that way, here also at first depolarization is occur, that finally leads to the generation of plus 45 millivolts of action potential. In that way, a single action potential may not be gets travelled along the length of the axon. Several successive action potentials are generated, and finally in that way action potential is reaches to the telodendrite. Means definitely several successive action potentials are generated one after another. In that way, final action potential which is generated in the telodendrite that induces to release the neurotransmitter into the synapse. In that way, definitely single action potential never gets travelled along the length of the axon. This first generated action potential is acts as the threshold stimulus on the neighboring segment to generate the another action potential. Another action potential is acts as the threshold stimulus on the neighboring segment to acts as the threshold stimulus to generate the another new action potential. In that way, successive action potentials are generated one after another. Again, definitely during the repolarization, plus 45 millivolts of action potential is decreases to minus 70 MV. Definitely in this case, plus 45 millivolts of action potential, that is the spike potential is generated finally at the end of the depolarization. But at the end of the repolarization, due to the continuous outward movement of the potassium, this positivity is gradually decreases in exoplasm. By that way, this action potential is gradually decreases, this spike potential is gradually decreases from plus 45 MV to minus 70 MV. Means during the depolarization, membrane potential is decreases from plus 45 MV to minus 70 MV. Due to that reason, this repolarization is said to be as the falling phase. This is said to be as the falling phase. Again, even after reaching the membrane potential to minus 70 MV, still now potassium voltage gated channel is in open. Though repolarization is occurs in the site A, though resting membrane potential is decreases to minus 70 MV from plus 45 MV, still now also potassium voltage gated channel is in remaining open. This potassium voltage gated channel is remains in open state due to the continuous efflux moment of the potassium, due to the continuous outward moment of the potassium into ECF. This resting membrane potential minus reaches to minus 90 MV finally. Definitely, though repolarization is occurs in the site A, after reaching the membrane potential from plus 45 MV to minus 70 MV in site A, this potassium voltage gated channel is not gets closed immediately. Still now it is in open due to that outward movement of the potassium is taken place continuously. By that way, inside of axoplasm, negativity is too far increases, that leads to reaching of resting membrane potential to minus 90 MV. This condition is said to be as the hyperpolarization. That is said to be as the hyperpolarization. If resting membrane potential is reaches to minus 90 MV, then it is said to be as the hyperpolarization. In this particular hyperpolarization condition, this is also called as the undershoot. This is also called as the undershoot. During this hyperpolarization condition, undershoot condition, resting membrane potential is reaches to minus 90 MV. Then only this potassium voltage gated channel is gets respond. Then only potassium voltage gated channel is gets respond. Then only very slowly potassium gate is gets close. At the same time, during the hyperpolarization condition, two gates of the sodium also gets close. Activation and inactivation gate of the sodium is also gets close. Later, after some time, this resting membrane potential is returned back to minus 70. In that way, definitely after repolarization, due to the not closing of potassium gate, finally due to the outward movement of the potassium into the ECF continuously, resting membrane potential is drops to minus 90 MV. That condition is said to be as the hyperpolarization or undershoot. After reaching to the hyperpolarization condition, this potassium gate is very slowly gets closes, and at the same time sodium activation inactivation gates also gets closes. This is the generation and propagation of nerve wimple.